Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. Super excited to have my friend, incredibly talented artist Chris Carr, back on the show. We're going to talk about the McRae Art Studio Fall Open House. We're going to learn what Chris has been up to. Got to know how long that beard is. We're going to hear all sorts of good stuff, Chris. Welcome back to the show, buddy. How you doing today?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you for having me back.
Always. You are a talent, and I love to expose the world to talented artists because you're artists, so you focus on your art, and a lot of times people don't get to know you and see you, and so I love having this platform to be able to give you a spotlight. All right, so let's talk about origin story before we go into the open house. Tell us a little bit about you and kind of your journey to being an artist full time.
Well, I've sort of been a creative my whole life. My mom was a teacher, so she always encouraged me to be creative no matter what the outlet was. And my younger years, I was a musician. I really talented with music. But down the road, I got where I wanted to do other things. So went to school, got some web design, graphic design, worked for that for a few years, but corporate life just wasn't for me. Started doing photography just as a hobby, wanted to do it full time, and kind of got into the reflections, shooting reflections of everything, and found a unique vision of my own, and have been doing it ever since and been loving it. Not that it hasn't been struggles at times, like anything,
No,
but it's been a happy struggle.
We talked about that. Well, you're living your passion, which is a lot of people, most people don't really get to do that, or just can't figure out how to do that. Let's put it that way. Right. How did you land on what type of art media that you were going to utilize? And tell us a little bit about your painting style.
Well, for me, it was, photography for me was just a hobby. I did a lot of traveling, so I was always taking pictures everywhere I went, just trying to just capture the beauty in the world. And over time, I developed an eye for capturing that beauty of the world through the reflections. And so once I realized the perspective, I just started shooting reflections everywhere and kind of just running with it, just seeing how far I could take the idea of that. And over time, I learned to start bringing my own water with a little bottle of water and making my own puddles. So now I feel like I gained a superpower because now I can get any shot I want, where before I always relied on where I could find puddles and water out in nature, whether it had been raining or not. And I was always disappointed. So, necessity is the mother of invention. So I just started doing it. Although I look really crazy when I'm out there because I'm standing there with a bottle of water in my hand. I'm turning around looking for a flat spot to pour water and take a picture. So I can only imagine what people who don't know me and see me out in the world working think I'm doing. They probably think I'm from the insane asylum or something.
And that's okay. Aren't most creatives? I think all creatives belong there in some way, shape, or form, or all thought about it. Tell us about being an artist and growing your business, because I have a lot of artists that come on. It doesn't matter what type of art they are, whether it's performing or in the actual artistry like you are, photography. How do you break in? What are some tips that you can give aspiring artists to further along and be able to make their passion their actual lifelong vocation?
Well, just realize that first off, it's a lot of series of steps, and really where you want to take yourself as an artist or as a career. It can be simple and small. You can just do stuff on the side while you have a normal job, which a lot of times you have to start out as on the side anyway while you work and support yourself, because it takes quite a while to build it up. And sometimes, dabbling in lots of areas with your work, even if it's not ideally what you want to be doing, sometimes you have to make money to kind of help support yourself along the way until you can build up your art and to the point to where you can be self-supported. And even then, you can still, like this year, it's been kind of tough. The summer was kind of tough for me. I'd have one really good show, and then I might have one or two that were really below what standards I'd like to have. But with the current economy, I'm selling a luxury item, so you have to realize that it's not something people have to have. So sometimes you're going to have some slow times. Sometimes you're going to have some really profitable times. So it's always good to have a little backup or maybe a little side hustle going. Or
I was going to ask. That's probably true, I imagine. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
As a photographer, you could do other things. You could take portraits. You could do headshots. You could. I'm not really big on weddings, but if people like to do weddings, that's a challenge they could take on. It's, you know, use your camera, use your equipment to help make you money while you're going along.
Well, I think that's what people have to understand. It's not a. I've had artists say, "Well, I don't want to denigrate or diminish my gift," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, but you have a gift." So in the photography world, for example, if wedding photography, if you have that gift and that passion, it's going to show even in something that you may not like or you may not want to do, but it's still going to be a positive in your overall career, your portfolio, developing your talent. And so I agree with you. I think that you don't look at it as a sacrifice or as minimizing your gift. Look at it as expanding your gift, expanding your horizon. You never know who those people at the wedding might love art. You never know who you're going to meet. This goes for any industry, but especially in the art world, because I've had so many artists on here. They're like, I only go to 3 shows a year. And I think, God, I wonder where that trust fund came from, because you are definitely not in the norm. You are the exception to the rule. So I love that you said that. Tell us about the McRae Art Studio Fall Open House, because it's Friday and Saturday this week.
Yes. So McRae Art Studios is the oldest and largest collective of artists here in Orlando. We have it's our working studios. We have 23 artists. And it's, like I said, it's our working studios, but twice a year we open up for the public to come in and view our artwork. And we have a musicians play that give us some entertainment, and it's always a great weekend. We have our own parking lot, so you don't have to worry about finding parking downtown and paying for a garage. And it's just a great time. We have 2 nights, so that if you can't make it out one night, you know, it's better flow of traffic that way, but it's always a great time. And it's really talented artists here in Orlando, and a lot of them you may not even know that they're here, but it's some great work, great collection of painters and sculptors and mixed media. It's something for everybody, for sure.
Where is McRae, for those people who don't know?
So McRae is near the corner of Orange Blossom Trail and Colonial Drive. We're actually in what used to be the old McNamara Pontiac dealership's paint and body shop. So we're a block off of Colonial on Livingston. Yeah. And we've this past year, Art Reach, who we share the building with, has done a mural on the outside of the building on the Westmoreland side. So we've really made the building look much more like an art studio than we ever did before. So we're excited to show it off this year.
It's beautiful. I pass it every day. I live sort of in that neck of the woods, and I think a lot of people just don't know where it is. So I'll make sure to put in the comments below, I'll put the address and kind of the tag so people can find it, because that did used to be McNamara Pontiac.
We have a picture in our kitchen of the paint of cars in the paint and body shop when it used to be that.
So crazy. But I love the creativity that you all, or they have used for the space.
Yes.
It's wonderful. And I think that a lot of people are tired of hearing about this lovely lady, Nicole, who's coming our way. So she will hopefully be gone by Friday, Saturday, and you're going to want to get out.
That's right.
You're going to want to go see something, get out and support our local artists like Chris, because it is what they do. Again, it's their passion. It's your passion. And they want you to enjoy it as much as they love selling you one of their babies, because that's what your art really is. Chris, tell them the best way that they can find you, find out more about you, find out more about this weekend. How can they get involved with what Chris Carr is doing?
So, of course, with me, you can always check my website, chriscarrfineart.com. I have a show schedule on there that has details of every event. You can also look at our art studio website, McRaeArtStudios.com. We have information about our event on there as well as all our artists, a little portfolio of all our artists that we have here at McRae, so you can kind of see a sampling of what to expect this weekend.
That's awesome. As
well as our past events, and we've been doing a artist spotlight series for our studios here. So we're into our 4th or 5th one now. So those are also on there now on the McRae website.
It's awesome. All right. I don't know if I've ever asked you this before, but I'm going to ask again if I have. As an artist, who's your personal favorite artist?
Well, for me, that's tough. I'm one of those that has multiple ones depending on what the inspiration is. You know, if it was a photographer, I would say, you know, Ansel Adams and Jerry Oldsman were very huge influences just because of their work ethic and their style. Any surrealistic painters or mixed media artists are always a favorite of mine because it's just a medium that I'm really, in a format that I'm really drawn to. So, and then musicians is probably too many to count. I just love music as well. So yeah, that's usually how I work is if I have a TV on, I have to look at it. So for me, I just put music on and hit shuffle and work away.
Well, I appreciate you, my friend. Guys, get out and support our creatives, our local creatives like Chris Carr, McRae, Art Studio Fall. Open house is Friday, this Friday, November 11th and Saturday, November 12th. We will put all of the links in the comments below. Get out and support. You guys are going to want to get out of the house. I can tell you by Friday. So get out and give back and support. Chris, come back anytime. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. We'll see you guys soon. Support our creatives. It's been a crazy year. Crazy couple.